Alright, this is actually take 2 of this video. As you'll see here, I've got some nested folders. That's because I've done this video once. Right before I finished, my Firefox spazzed out on me and crashed. So instead of showing all that, I just decided to do the video over. Alright, so in this video we are going to use the template we created in the last video to create and fill out a monster manual or NPC codex. Now the first thing I did, see how we have these folders? Monsters, characters, handouts. Well, I created the monsters folders, put all of our monsters. And to do that, all I did was I clicked add folder. And this one we're going to call it the NPC codex, even though we're not going to use it. And this is where we could drop all of our NPCs. Now within that folder, we can organize them in other ways, like see I have G and templates. Well, I created the templates folder to drop my NPC template. The G folder will eventually hold goblins. So we can just click on add another folder. We'll call this one A. And say we want to move A into the NPC codex. You're just going to click on A and drag it on down. And that's it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a very simple monster, a goblin. So we're going to double click on the NPC template. We're actually going to fix something real quick as well that I noticed when I uploaded the other video. I didn't think it was worth redoing the video, but we can fix it here. When you go to your NPC template, go to the attributes and abilities, go to traits and click on edit. No, I'm sorry, not traits. Multi-action. And see this first one where it says $1? Just change it to $0. It'll prevent you from having to do with that in the future. Click OK. Now we're going to go to edit, and we're going to go to duplicate. Then we're going to close out of this. Make sure you duplicate, because you don't want to make your monsters over your NPC template, because then you'd have to completely recreate that template from scratch. So now we're going to double click on the copy of NPC template, click on edit. We're going to name it Goblin. For an avatar, we're going to click on choose file, and I just grabbed 3 tokens from the internet for the monsters we're going to create today. And I'm going to click on Goblin, and it should upload the Goblin. Well, it's just my luck. It's not going to do anything, actually. It's going to do it twice. Not going to do it twice. Going to do it twice. It's not going to do it twice. I think I confused it. Let's cancel. Go back to edit. Select that goblin again. Could also be my crappy internet. Even at 3:30 in the morning or 3 in the morning, whatever time it is, I can't get decent speeds. It is... oh, it's actually 2:44 in the morning. There we go. And there we don't go. We're doing this again. Alright, let's move on. This isn't important for now. So next we're going to go to character sheet. And over here on our menu screen, we're going to click on the I. Go to our 5th edition SRD, which stands for System Resource Document. We're going to type Goblin, search. Then we're going to drag Goblin over here to our character sheet. Make sure it flares up yellow. That means you're good to go. If it doesn't flare up yellow, it means that you have to click that little gear symbol. See this right here? You have to click that to make it look like that. When it looks like this, it means it's a finalized character sheet. So now we're going to want to look at a few things. He's got 1 trait and 2 attack actions. So if we go to attributes, go to traits, we only need 1 of these. This is set up to do 4. Now, it says 3 here, but it means 4 because we start counting from 0. So this trait, nimble action, is actually trait number 0. So we don't need any of the others. So we're gonna go from this because it starts from the /W to the next /W. All of that is 1 trait. See $0, $0. Then this one is $1, $1. So we're gonna click. Maybe all the way down and just delete it. Now you want to make sure you delete back up to the next line. You don't want any hanging bottoms here, because you'll get a weird little DM whisper when you use this macro. And we can actually rename this Nimble Escape, since he only has the one ability. Now he didn't have a multi-action. There's no multi-actions here. So we're going to delete that multi-action. He does have 2 attack actions, Scimitar and Short Bow. So what we're going to do for the first one, click on Edit, change attack action to Scimitar. And we're going to copy this code piece. Click Save. Now we're going to click Add, because we have to add the Short Bow. And we're going to click over here to move the Short Bow up to underneath the Scimitar. Click on Edit, name it Short Bow. We're going to drop that code piece we just copied, but we're going to change the $0 to $1. Click OK, and show as token action. Now we changed it to $1 because Scimitar is attack action 0, and Short Bow is attack action 1. So if we go back to the attributes and abilities and look towards the bottom, he doesn't have any spell slots, so we can delete that. Doesn't have any legendary macros, so we can delete that. And doesn't have any legendary actions, so we can delete that. And we have show as token clicked for everything. Our Goblin is just about good to go. Okay, it got the token. Sweet. So save that. We're going to close that. Go back to our monster manual. Oh, it didn't change the name of the monster, though. Make sure that says Goblin. Save changes. Exit out. Now, we're going to move the Goblin into the G folder. To do that, you want to mouse over the token. So you get those 3 little lines. Click on the lines and move up under G. If you click on the name, it's not going to move it within here, because what it's done is it's grabbed a copy of the Goblin and thinks you're going to drop it onto the map, like so. And then it's not going to do it. There we go. Alright. So now that you have your Goblin, you want to select the token and go back and open up the Goblin sheet. Click on Edit and see this Use Selected Token. Click on that. And that finalizes the token as it is for every Goblin you generate. So if you need 3 Goblins, you can just toss 3 Goblins down there. We don't need 3 Goblins, so I'm going to... Well, I'll leave 2, because I'm going to show you for hit points. So we have the Goblin selected, and see the macro bar now pops up along the top here. Say we want to give him, these 2 Goblins, random hit points. We'll go... There goes Firefox doing whatever it wants to do again. We'll go over here to the chat window and click on Stats for this Goblin. Alright. Everything's slow and laggy. For that I apologize. I hit the button twice and it did it twice. So for the first one, we got 8 hit points. So if you click on the Goblin, we're going to use this red box for hit points. Hit 8 and enter. Shows he has 8 hit points. For the second Goblin, double click on the red. He has 10. Click 10 and enter. So now say our brave hero comes up here and whacks the Goblin for 3 points of damage. Oops. You click on him, go on the 8, drop it down to 5, hit enter. And so you can keep track of the hit points right here in the Roll20. And that's it for Goblins. So we're going to go ahead, get rid of the Goblin. Get rid of the Goblin. This video is already at 10 minutes, and I've still got 2 monsters to do, so it's going to be a little longer video, and I apologize for that. But I think it has information we're going to need. I'm actually going to clear our chat log. And we're going to go back to our monster manual. Open our template. We're going to duplicate it again. So go to Edit. And Duplicate. We're going to close out of it. Open the copy. Edit it. We're going to name it Vampire. We're going to choose our Vampire token. And hopefully this just goes through here. Let's try, say, maybe it went through without seeing. So click edit. Nope. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the uploads, and again, for that I apologize. We'll wait till we see some blue, then I'll just save changes. Now this vampire is going to be a good example because he's got some legendary abilities. He's got a unique multi-attack option. So we're going to have to do some fiddling. And it'll show you how to handle a more complex monster. And even when I use the word complex, I really don't think it's really all that bad. Then after this, what I want to do is a vampire. Not a vampire, a dragon. Just because, not necessarily because they have anything more complex ability-wise than a vampire, because they really don't. He just has a lot of stuff, but it's the token size that's important. So I think it got it there. So we're going to go ahead and save that change. Yep. So we got that there. So we're going to go to the character sheet, go to the 5th edition SRD, type in vampire, grab our vampire and drag him on over. Once it's yellow, you can drop it. It'll fill out the character sheet. Now we got a lot of stuff we need to look at. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 traits. That's the first thing we notice. And our traits are only set up to handle 4 things. See, it's $3. And since we start at 0, that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 things. So we need 2 more. So what we're going to do is take the last one, the $3. See how remember how it starts with the /W. It goes all the way to the end here. We're going to copy it. We're going to paste it and change the $3s to $4s. And then we're going to paste it again. Whoops, we want it on another line though. And change the 3s now to 5s. So that will get us all 6 of his traits. Now say you don't want to show 6 traits all in one macro. Let's say you want to show, the first trait he had was shape change. So let's say you want to make that its own macro. Take from the /W down to the next /W. We're going to cut it, then bump that up to the top. Leave those traits alone. Then we're going to add a new macro. Roll it up to the top above traits. We're going to call it shape change and drop down that code. So this will take his first trait. Remember, it's whatever this number is plus 1 is the number of traits it's going to take. So you could do this for all of them. You know, you could do shape change, legendary resistance, misty escape, regeneration, spider climb. I'm just going to do it for the one for an example, and then we're going to move on. So you want to make sure to click show as token action, and then it'll show as a token action. And maybe so it shows up with the other traits, you can call it trait-shape change. So next, he has a lot of actions. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 actions, one of which is a multi-action. Now his multi-action does not function like some monsters' multi-actions. Like some monsters would say, vampire can make 2 attacks, both of which are unarmed strikes. So then you'd have, your multi-action would display this, telling you that he gets two unarmed strike actions. Then it would actually do the 2 unarmed strike actions. And we'll see that when we do the dragon. But because his just defines his multi-attack action, he can make 2 attacks, only one of which can be a bite attack. It doesn't assign any attacks to the ability. All we really need is this first line. So remember, this is action 0. This is action 1, action 2, 3, 4. All we need is action 0 for multi-attack. So we're going to delete the second line. And again, make sure there's no hanging returns on the bottom, or you'll get a weird little whisper. So now we know he has 1, 2, 3, 4 actions, starting with unarmed strike. So we're going to create 3 more and just let him hang on the bottom. 1, 2, 3. The first one is called Unarmed Strike. And if you want all the attack actions to show up grouped, we can call them ATK-Unarmed Strike. And we can call this ATK Multi-Action. Excuse me. Alright. So we are going to grab this code. Oh, and because this is attack number 1, we want to increase the dollar number by 1 to 01. Because the multi-action definition is 0, the unarmed strike is number 1, and the bite is number 2. So we want to go down to one of the 3 new abilities we made, drag it up to under unarmed strike. We're going to edit it, call it ATK Bite, drop that in there, and then we're going to name it 012 and save it. And show as token action. Make sure that's clicked so you can actually see it. Next we have Charm. So we're going to drag new ability 1 up to underneath attack bite. We're going to edit it. Call ATK Charm. We're going to cut that code. Remember, this is 0, 1, 2, 3. Save it. Show as token action. And then the last one is Children of the Night. So we're going to go down, drag up that new ability 2. Call it ATK Children of the Night. Drop that, and it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. $4. Now you could rename these anything you want. If you want, ACT for action, or whatever you want. Just know that in the macro bar, they're going to be sorted alphabetically. So if you want all the attacks or actions sorted, you should give them a common naming scheme, like ATK- the name or ACT- the name. Alright, so that's all of the attacks. Now we have his legendary abilities. He's got 3 legendary abilities, and the legendary macro will show you this. It's going to show you the definition of his actions. And then he has 3 legendary actions: move, unarmed strike, and bite. So if we go here and scroll down, the legendary macro is fine. We're going to want to create 2 more abilities, however. And because it's a legendary action, we'll call it LEG move. And then we want to copy this code. Now this code looks very similar to the code we use up here, but it's different in one subtle way. This -L is going to draw from the legendary actions. So we're going to call that good. We're going to edit this one. Call it LEG. Unarmed strike. Now remember, we need to increment the $0 to $1. Click OK. Show as token action. And this one was LEG bite. Drop our code in there. And we're going to increment that to $2. Remember, move is 0. Unarmed strike is 1. Bite is 2. Click OK. And show as token action. Now, I don't remember him having any spell slots, so we are just going to remove that. Make sure everything is show as token action. We missed attack Children of the Night, and so we're good to go. So we're going to go ahead, close out of that. I'm going to go back here, add a folder, V. We are going to move folder V to underneath the G here. There we go. And then we're going to move vampire to underneath the V. So now we have our vampire. We're going to drag the token out. And then we're going to wait 4 hours because of my internet connection. I guarantee you if I drop out another token, it's going to show 2. Well, there we go. There he is. Now look at all of these glorious macros. So say, first thing you want to do, get him some hit points. Click on stats. Apparently he rolls a crap load of hit dice. 17 to be a matter of fact. So he's got 117 hit points. So we double click on what we've deemed as our hit point box. Hit 117 and enter. Alright, so now we can just explore attack bite. We'll eventually roll his attack. 19. Remember, if he hits, click on the bite and it'll roll the damage. 7 piercing. Wow, I don't know what is causing this lag, but it's pretty terrible. Attack charm really just shows you his charm ability. Probably same thing, attack children of the night. His attack multi-action, remember, just shows you how to use his multi-action. His attack unarmed strike. And if he hits... Alright. So with the legendary actions, if you hit legendary macro, it's going to tell you how he can use his legendary actions. But if you hit legendary bite, the vampire makes 1 bite attack, and it's just telling you what he can do with those actions. If you hit trait shape change, see, it just shows his shape change ability. And then if you hit traits, it shows you everything else. Legendary resistance, misty escape, regeneration, spider climb, and vampire weaknesses. And so that's how you create a more advanced character. Now, we don't really need to do everything for the dragon, so I'll make the dragon really simple, since we are going on 20 minutes already on this video. So this will definitely be the longest video yet. Double-click on the NPC, edit, duplicate, cancel, close, copy the NPC template. Whoops. Yeah, I don't really know. Okay. Yeah, no, something's definitely going on with my internet or Firefox. So we're going to drag in that dragon token. And for this, it's really important. This is really the primary reason I'm doing the dragon, even though this video has gone on so long. So we'll get this in. I might show you 1 or 2 things with the dragon traits, but largely you would handle him like you'd handle the vampire. I'll show you how to do his multi-action, because he's got a more traditional multi-action. Excuse me. Alright, eventually here. Eventually it will pop up. Maybe. Possibly. Now, as far as being able to use these features, I think you can use all the macros and everything with the free Roll20 account. The dynamic lighting stuff we've gone over, I think, does require at least the $4.99 a month subscription, which I think is worth it if you game on a regular basis. My group gets together around 3 times a month, 3 Sundays a month, 2 to 3 Sundays a month. So for that, you know, I find it definitely worth it. Oh, but nope, not this time, not yet. It almost thought it was done. Wonder while it's doing that, we can change this to, we'll call it Red Dragon. Come on now. There we go. So we'll save changes. Go to the character sheet. Go to the 5th edition SRD. Type in Red Dragon. We'll take the adult. Drag him over. It's yellow, so it's good. It'll fill everything out. Now, he only has the one trait. So the first thing we can do is go to Traits and take from this second /WGM. Delete everything. Again, make sure there's no trailing spaces. Click OK. Now his multi-action. He can use Frightful Presence and then make 3 attacks. 1 bite and 2 with its claws. So the multi-attack action is going to take action 0, 1, and then 2 twice. So 0, 1, 2, 2. So if we go up and look at the multi-action, it's already got the 0 and the 1. So we're just going to copy the 1, return, paste, and go 2 and 2. So it's going to show you the rules for his multi-attack. Then it's going to roll the first attack, and then roll the second and third attacks, which are both, I believe, the bites. So we click save. And then the rest you do, we've already covered this. You just create some new actions, copy that NPC action, that you have here, and just increment. So this one would actually be 1, because he has a multi-action. So this is 1. Multi-action is 0, bite is 1, claw 2, tail 3, frightful presence 4, fire breath 5, etc. and so on. Same thing with the legendary actions. We've covered all that with Vampire, so I'm not going to cover it here for the sake of brevity and time. So with the Red Dragon, we're going to drag him out onto the table, and hopefully he actually shows up. Our hero waits impatiently. Let's try that again. There we go. Now the dragon is obviously more than a 1 square monster. If these squares are 5 feet each, and I know actually in this map they're 10, which irritates the crap out of me, but we're going to pretend they're 5. You blow him up to be a large monster. Now, in order to get this to remember this token is a large token, you're going to double-click on the red dragon, go up to Edit, and Use Selected Token, and Save Changes. And then what it does is it remembers this token exactly in this state. So if you call out another red dragon, he's going to be big, just like that one. So if we delete, and we'll go up here, and we'll clear the chat history, just to show you his multi-action. See, it shows you the definition, rolls the bite, and the 2 claw attacks. So you get everything right there. And that's it. That's how to use that template we created. Whoops. To create and manage monsters. You could use it for NPCs. You could use it for any of a number of things. And somehow I got a mysterious note in there. Dump our red dragon under the D. And there we go. Oops. Drop our red dragon under D. And you got it all nice and organized. And you can use these whenever you want, however you want. And it's all good. You need a dragon, just drag him out, throw him out there. Want to roll his hit points? Click on stats. You're going to roll a truckload of dice. He has 254 hit points. Double click on that red, 254, and enter. And you're good to go. Well, I hope this was helpful. I really hope this was understandable, coherent, and useful to you. And we'll see you next time.